Happy Thanksgiving, Balsa kids and Hansakins. Welcome to the DeFi Crypto Alliance show where we're doing our best to bridge the gap between our fellow entrepreneurs and the best damn crypto community around. Pulse Chain. Guys, this is the loudest megaphone in Pulse Chain land. How are you guys doing today? I'm super pumped, feeling good, and I'm super grateful for you guys, grateful to be alive, grateful to have my health, grateful to have my wealth, and grateful to be here in this ecosystem, just to thrive with you guys and build something that is going to be absolutely amazing. um yes, I've been having some time off lately because I've needed there was a much needed break between my move and obviously all the crap that's been going on inside the ecosystem. But fret not, it has not shaken my resolve or my belief. It has not. I believe in the long run there is a greater good that will come to Pulse Chain and come out of Pulse Chain. Whether it's going to be this cycle or next cycle, I have no idea, because it looks like Bitcoin could have topped, but that doesn't mean that we could not have a relief rally and have an altcoin season here on the back end of the cycle in Q1 or Q2. I still believe that is a possibility. Or if we have to wait all the way into the end of 2026 or 27, I am here for it. I believe that, one day we will be there. And if you guys can't fathom or stomach the possibility of having to wait, we talked about this last week on my show, then there's probably good reasoning that you probably should go ahead and push the sell button. Nothing wrong with that. I always said on this show, there's nothing wrong with selling as long as you're not hanging around here and playing the misery loves company and spreading negativity and throwing up toxicity all over Twitter and all over the community. It's just, it doesn't help anything. All it does is hurt you. It hurts the community, and you're making yourself miserable, and you're miserable, so you want other people to be miserable with you. It's just not the way to play the game, in my honest opinion. So what's going on, guys? I mean, this is Thanksgiving week. We should be out there touching some grass now, right? Don't be wallowing in your misery in Twitter. Don't be staring at the charts all day. I want you guys to go out there and be appreciative of what you have in life, right? Most of us have our health. Most of us have some wealth, even though we're not like, not all of us are multimillionaires. I get it, but we have a good place in this life. We got to count our blessings. What we have more than what most of the world does not. You got to remember that sometimes. You got to put things into perspective of where you're at. We have a lot of great that we have in our lives. The fact that you're able to participate in this asset class and invest the type of money that you have invested into this asset class shows that you're probably better off already than 90 to 95% of the world. So, take a step back, give yourself some gratitude, take gratitude in about that, and understand that you're in a good spot, right? A lot of us have kids, we have family, which is absolutely amazing. You got to count our blessings there. I am absolutely blessed. I got two wonderful daughters who are absolutely amazing, and they're my heart, right? They're my life, and I have a beautiful wife, and I have the blessings of being able to live in Puerto Rico and Arizona and live a very exotic lifestyle, entrepreneurial type lifestyle that most people do not even, never can fathom. So that is, for me. And so it's been an absolute blessing to be on this journey with you guys. I have met some amazing individuals, some amazing people. And so I'm very grateful for this community, for this opportunity to be here. And I think Pulse Chain is still going to do amazing things, right? Even though if we're going to have some serious turbulence along the way. But I'll tell you what, guys, man, some of the hardest believers in Pulse Chain, some of the biggest supposedly diamond hands that we've ever seen are capitulated. It's really quite remarkable. We've even seen people who have come on my show capitulate more recently, and it's really quite it just, it's amazing to me, because it's marking in my head, it's marking a bottom to see all these people completely flee and capitulate, and people who you would never in a million years thought would capitulate or start turning on RH are now doing so. It's marking a bottom to me. It really is. And I know I've been notoriously wrong in the past about calling bottoms, right? Or, trying to figure out where tops are at. All I do is look at the secret chart these days and try to figure out what's going on with that. And I know I've mentioned before, though, that I felt like we're in some kind of bottom, and that's because Pulse Chain's been in a downtrend for the last two and a half years, however long we've been out. That's very true. But this is different, man. There's something about this with the PruvX sacrifice going on, and with everyone capitulating out. There is something eerily just different about this time. And I think this could be honestly the bottom. But once again, listen, guys, I'm just a dude in the internet. Like, this is never financial advice. Do whatever the F you want with your money. I'm holding here. In fact, I even did participate a little bit in the PruvX sacrifice. I went into the Buck and Dylan pool. I didn't put a whole lot in there, a very small bullet for me. So, that way I got a seat at the table, at least participating into their pool. I get their bonus multiplier. And we'll see what happens with that. Like, I just wanted a seat at the table with that particular token, just in case RH decides to do some kind of redemption arc and try to send that token to get the eyeballs back onto Pulse Chain. And it could be a lot easier to send just because of the market cap being so small. It could be a strategy. This is what Buck's talking about as he's making his rounds through the community, is that could be the strategy of RH in this new token. Now, I have no idea. It makes sense to me, though. Pump the shit out of something that has a very low market cap, that has, very little sell pressure. Get your redemption through that one. Get back on the podcast and the big shows because you did make 100x or 1,000x out of a new token, and then you get the eyeballs in the Pulse Chain. Right? Pulse Chain has, over the last 2.5 years, been incredibly heavy. It's been incredibly heavy. All the cores have been. Pulse Chain, PulseX, Hex have had a lot of massive wells with a lot of massive sell pressure. This is one of the problems that we've had. And he's even said before, he was, I've pumped the chain, a few times, and you efforts keep selling it off. So one, because there's too much whales swimming with us that want to exit. Okay. And I feel like a lot of them are continuing to exit and have exited and maybe are still exiting here at the bottom, which is great. And then two, market dynamics, right? We haven't been in a situation where the Fed is printing money, interest rates are back at its all-time lows again. Business ISM is trending up, going parabolic. We haven't been in a environment where if he were to inject liquidity, where it would sustain, because people are hurting in real life, right? Their businesses aren't doing as good. They're getting laid off. They're not getting the promotion that they were promised. And so what happens is the first thing that goes when their lives are getting wrecked is their crypto. And so if RH pumps $20 million like he has before into our chain, then the guys who are hurting are going to exit. But if you wait for a different environment where people are getting promotions, people are getting hired, people are able to work later shifts, and maybe people with small businesses are thriving, right? This is where the business ISM tells, that's the story it tells, right? Where mom and pop businesses are really, really thriving. And I know this because of my entrepreneur friends, and even our business took a big hit this year on how well their businesses are doing. And so if that is an environment where all that is thriving, then the person at the end of that funnel is the common person who works. It's retail. What does retail do when they have more money? Well, then they go play with risk on assets. And so then if we were in an environment where all that is happening and Merchant Heart were to put $20 million in, well, then they wouldn't get sold off at least not as quickly. Maybe it gets sold off, a couple months down the road or a few months down the road, but it wouldn't be immediately. A lot of people would be FOMOing in off of those green candles versus like selling out of those green candles. So that's why that, his injection of liquidity in the past has not worked. All right. It's just basic market dynamics. And he's not an idiot. He knows that. All right. So he's like, what else can I do to get some attention to this fucking chain and to get people to recognize what's going on here and what I'm building? Okay. Now I get it. A lot of you guys are like, oh, well, he's just doing another freaking money grab. It's another scam. Yeah, perhaps, right? Perhaps. Okay. And it could be the case. I have no idea. But you need to like take a step back and really put your emotions aside. You have to push your emotions aside and look at both sides of the coin and go, okay, what is happening here without my emotions? What could be happening here on the bad and the good? All right. And then you analyze it with your own thesis. You use your fucking brain. Use this when you invest, not this. This will get in the way. This is great stuff in life and for things that we do with our family and just, there's a lot of stuff good that comes out of this. This gets in the way with an investing. Fucking sucks. You have to only use this when you invest. And when you're analyzing a situation, you should be analyzing only with this and not getting emotional, not getting worked up. And that way you can make better decisions in your investment thesis. Okay. And I'm not perfect at it. Fuck no, man. I make mistakes like everybody else. I have FOMO'd way too much at way too many times during this run, this since we've launched, right? I have gone way too hard at times where I was just FOMOing in because I was using this. Okay. And that's my fault. That's not Richard Hart's fault. That's my fault. What the fuck? Look at yourself in the mirror. There's the person who's the fault for FOMOing too hard when things weren't going the way they should have gone because the freaking in the business environment, the economy weren't doing well, and Richard Hart's money got sold off. So if you want to see whose fault it is at the end of the day, quit pointing to the influencers. And I did a show about this last week. Quit pointing to Richard Hart and blaming him and look at yourself in the fucking mirror. The honest truth. So, but I won't get too deep on that again. I did a whole show on that last week, but it comes down to like, either you believe or you don't, and either you sell or you don't. If you sell, great, go move on. You're never getting your money back here. Sorry, it's not going to happen. Go move on and build something, go create value in the world, or invest in another asset class, or maybe even another crypto, even though you probably shouldn't. But go ahead and move on and try your luck somewhere else and focus your energy and effort somewhere else and try to learn some lessons, right? If you're going to push the sell button. And if you're going to buy or hold, great. I'm here with you on that mission, right? And just be prepared. It could take some time. There could be some time here, right? We need to see what's going to happen with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's on the second week where it closed under the 50-week moving average. And so we just kind of see what's going on with there. The good news is, we know old Jerome Powell and the Fed, they're going to be, getting rid of quantitative tightening here in December. Quantitative easing should be coming early next year. We should see some printing of the money. The cost of money to borrow money is going to get cheaper, which should improve business ISM. If businesses can borrow money cheaper, that's going to help the economy. It's going to help businesses. It's going to help small mom and pop businesses. Okay. And so this is key. So like we have a lot of good coming up if you're willing to wait. Now it could be possible that Bitcoin goes through a nasty bear market and we don't see any of this for a whole year. Man, that's fine. So are you willing to hold? Right. I do believe that we are down in the lows of Pulse Chain. I don't think we're going to go much lower. I could be totally wrong with that. Maybe we lose another 90%. Fuck if I know. Could happen. So be prepared, right? We could see more volatility. Although I think for me, from the way I analyze things, The ProveX sacrifice was probably the most volatile event we could have saw. I don't know. I don't see how we could go much lower. We could though, but right now I just don't see it for me and my money. Once again, it's not financial advice. Make your own decision. But I think we're going to range in these lows, and maybe to I don't know if you guys remember the meme he put with the Yeti and the monkey thing on his back. It says season greetings. Maybe we range in these lows into Christmas, and then we start seeing a pull out. So there's also an influencer that I follow on Pulse Chain that's thinking the same thing. He's been doing a very good job at calling the bear of Pulse Chain all throughout 2024, all throughout 2025. He's been very adamant that it's not time. He's been very vocal about it. He's done a very good job. I'm not sure if he wants me to mention who he is, so I won't, but he's done a great job at calling the negativity that we will see more downward pressure, that the whales are selling, that this is going to happen. And he's done a good job of doing it, man. And so he's saying that 2026 is the year for Pulse Chain. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. But I'm following the guy because he's been pretty accurate with his bear call. So maybe he'll be accurate with his bull call. I don't know, right? We don't know. We can only sit and see. So kind of my thoughts there. But I want to come on, definitely, guys. This is Thanksgiving week. Make sure you take a step back and you think about what you're grateful for, right? And we all have blessings that most people do not have in this world. And I know that because you're here and because you invest in Pulse Chain and you invest in crypto. You have blessings that 90% of the world probably doesn't have. So maybe not in your country, but in the world. So take a step back and understand and look at what you're grateful for, because there could be a lot. Don't let, the negativity of Pulse Chain get in the way of what you should feeling grateful for this week. Very important. So anyways, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the secret chart while we're here, just to make sure nothing much has changed. And it hasn't. There it is. Not much to show. It's trending down slowly against ETH. We're still not making any market. Let me get rid of this. There we go. We're still not making any market structure here. But it looks like maybe it wants to bottom out. You got a doji candle here. Doji candles usually means indecision. Then you got a small little red candle in the week here. Of course, this is Monday, so we'll see with this one here. We have all week to play out to see what happens with it. I would like to see some kind of bottom formation happen and just coast around the bottom here against ETH. We'll see. Pulse Chain knows at 4019. PulseX 4012. Inc at 73 cents, which is insane. And Hex down at very, pretty much on its all-time low or close to it, decimal 0038. It's crazy, right? I bought the bottom of Hex as decimal 0035, the last DCA I did on Hex. So these things are retesting the bottoms. We have not really made all-time new lows. We're just retesting all the bottoms when you compare it against the dollar. Are we making new lows against ETH? Absolutely. We are making new lows against ETH. So that is something to take in consideration. Where is that bottom going to be put in at? I have no idea. Maybe it just goes down forever against ETH. If you believe that, then obviously you probably should push the sell button or sell into ETH, right? I believe it will make a bottom here somewhere. It will form a bottom. It will create market structure. And I believe over the Christmas holidays, it will start to trend up. So that is my belief. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. I could be totally wrong. I think the bulk of the volatility is over because the ProveX sacrifice is that's the cause of the volatility. And we're done with that. Now, I think once we have this, I think it's 9 days or 8 days. I think we have 8 days left of the best sacrifice rate you can get with ProveX. I think once that is over, we'll start to see some more positive price action in Pulse Chain. Maybe. Or maybe that's just where the bottom gets put in at, right? ProveX sacrifice, best sacrifice over. People stop selling their cores, they're going to ProveX. And then plus a lot of the FUD, the volatility from people capitulating because they're pissed off. All that would kind of be over. And so maybe we put a bottom in during that time. So maybe we have a little bit more downward pressure. I don't know, right? Things of consideration, but I'm holding. I'm still here. I believe that we are still in for greatness. Now, when the greatness comes is another question. I have no clue. I have no effing clue. I've happened to be taking a lot of time off because I've been doing a lot of touching some ground myself to keep myself in a very very positive frame of mind, to get reset myself, right, and stay positive. So, just some things I wanted to share with you guys. But let's go ahead and check with you guys here in the chat. I got to keep it short today. I got a meeting here in about 8 minutes that I got to attend to, but I wanted to hop on and say hi to you guys. It's Monday. I didn't get to stream that much last week. I did it once. I might get to fit one or two more in this week. We'll see what happens. Obviously, I'm only streaming on Thanksgiving Day, so. But let's see how you guys are doing. Red Squirrel, what's up, man? First here. Oi, oi to you, my friend. Oi, oi to you. My buddy Mitch, what's up, bro? How you doing, man? Mitch is holding strong. He's actually DCAing. I was having some kava with Mitch yesterday at the kava bar. He's still DCAing in, guys. He's got more belief than most people in Pulse Chain right now. I'll tell you that. But he also follows that influencer that I was talking about that's really been pretty accurate with his calls. I'm listening to tire resistance of Pulse Chain, which is insane. Hard to do. Real Billionaire Boys. What's up, man? Man, this is the most manipulated cycle I've ever seen. I know, it's insane, dude, isn't it? No altcoin season. Bitcoin only. No blow off top on Bitcoin either. No euphoria for a Bitcoin. Some powerful people are pulling strings and trying to hurt our leader. Yeah, I agree. We have to be patient and hold the line. We do, man. That's it. And I think it's since this bull market, here's the thing, man. This bull market was wildly different. There was a lot of this is different. What about this bear market? If it is a bear market, what about this bear market? Is it going to be wildly different? Is there going to be some unknowns? Probably a lot less volatility. Instead of more volatility, maybe a lot less. Maybe we have an altcoin season in the bear market. That'd be wild, right? That's never happened before, but we've never seen where we had a bull and never had an altcoin season. So, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of things that could happen. It's just there's so much stuff that was different this time around. And we never been through a cycle with the business ISM so low and the economy just getting wrecked from the interest rates, from quantitative tightening. We never seen this really before. Not to this degree. To a little bit, yes, but not to this degree. So it's interesting. Man, the myth, the man, the legend. What's up, Crypto 7? How you doing, bro? I don't like sack pools, organizers, foot in the cores. I'm buying the dip on launch. Buy it, bro. I like it. Yeah, I'll be doing the same. I was going to maybe do a little bit more and do it. So what I did at 7 is I kind of took my bag and I went 50-50. I was like, okay, well, I'll put 50 in with the pool, and then I'll use 50% to buy the dip, just in case said pool guys want to sell off their bags when we launch, because they could, man, right? They're going to have some pretty good sized bags, and they could be selling as soon as it launches and get the 3x. I thought about that, and I was like, okay, if that happens, I want to make sure I have a little bit of money on the sidelines to do that for ProveX. And so that's why I broke it up 50-50, but that's a very good point. Absolutely. I'm sorry, but there's no helping anyone who sacrificed ProveX. I don't know, man. It's got Hex written all over it, bro. I know you probably disagree with me, but man, it's got the smallest market cap out of any RH core. Yeah. And everyone's hating and fudding it like the early Hex days. So I don't know, man. It's interesting. I'm putting some bullets in it just in case. And I'm going to do like 7 said. I put 50% of bag, pull 50%. I'm going to try to catch a massive dip because I believe 7 could be correct. We could see a pretty massive dip on it on launch. Just from the whales who are getting a 3x bonus. Crypto Freedom, what up, man? Good morning. Let's effing go. Yeah, man. I've been just resetting a little bit, keeping my mental health in check. Obviously, going to the gym. I went to the gym today. Super pumped. Getting my, my health dialed in even more. That's always a key. In fact, if it went for my health in the gym, bro, holy shit, dude, that's what's kept me sane throughout this entire like bear market for us and pulse chain, right? Like it has been the gym and working on my health. That's been like my best touching grass. That and my family, of course. My family, I love my family to death. But man, getting into like learning about health and learning about peptides and supplements and what I could do to improve my blood work, my biomarkers has been just game changer, man. It's been so awesome. It's like another whole level unlocked in my life. That's been awesome, right? It's been just, yeah, if it went for that, man, who knows if, because that's helped my mental stability, right? My mental health. So yeah, it's interesting the things you could do to kind of crack the code uh to participate in shit like this. You got to do things like that, man. Find things in your life that you're passionate about and lean into them. And then the pain of crypto won't be so painful. It's the truth, man. It is such the truth, right? Like, so obviously, my family's one. I lean really hard into that. I love my family. I love my daughters. I love my wife. And so I lean really hard into that. I spend a lot of time with them, create a lot of memories with them. And that it's helped a lot with the pain. Working on my mental health through just, getting closer to God, and just, working on business and working on my physical health. I've all tied in together. And it's just, it's been how I've been able to stay sane this whole entire bear market and just kind of collective, right? Keep my resolve. We came for a quick pamp, but we stayed in the community. We came for the quick pamp, but we stayed as community. Yeah, that's the truth, man. I sacrificed to Paul's X, right? I thought I was going to get the quick 100X, and what did I get? Yeah, big FU. So now I'm here for the long haul. What's up? I think this is Bright Light. He says Red Ray on my stream. What happened to that person you stream with? Notorious OG. Dude, he hasn't streamed with me in over a year, man. Dane, we own a business together. We still do that business together, and you don't like streaming, so I do all the streaming. Stay positive and keep growing that grass, Corey. That's it, man. Not the grass you smoked though. That's not my thing. I have not been around for a while. If you're talking about Dane, yeah, he has not been around for a while. He doesn't enjoy streaming that much, although we might start a podcast together where we do like a show a week that we put on a podcast platform. Very beginner-esque for crypto to attract like real estate entrepreneurs into the space. So we've been flirting with that idea. We'll see if that comes to fruition. It will come to fruition. It's just a matter of when. And if you guys want to come over and support us with that, that'd be great. But it'll be a lot of really newbie, elementary stuff for the your average investor who doesn't understand the space. 8-year bear market, man. It feels like fucking 20 years, man. Well, you're so right, man. It's been a year, bro. I have reversed my fatty. Let's go, man. I love that. I had a fatty liver too, man. This is like, man, I don't know, 8 years ago when I quit drinking. I had when I got my biomarkers done shortly after I quit drinking, they said I had a fatty liver developing, and I'm completely knocked it out now. It's gone. My liver's healthy. That's the great thing about the liver, man. It's one of the few organs that can literally heal itself through enough time and enough love. Like you can't keep beating on it and expect it to heal, but you can, treat it with the right nutrients and food and get a lot of sleep. It will heal. It's amazing, man. It's amazing. It's one of the few organs that can do that. I started taking my health seriously by listening to you a year. That's awesome. I love it. I'm glad I was able to make that impact. I've been able to like reverse my biological clock literally like 6-7 years. Last time I did my blood work was 6 years. Where my chronological clock, I'm 48. And the last time I did my blood work, I was like 43. Right. So it's 5 years. Okay. 5 years. So let me exaggerate a little bit there for you, but like still 5 years where the first time I got my blood work done, I was 51 or 50 when I was 47. I was 3 years ahead. So it was 8 years. It's an 8-year delta. is what I was able to do. So, yeah, man. I mean, I want to live to 120, right? I want to see my grandkids, right? That'd be a beautiful thing. My grandkids' kids, at least. I don't know my grandkids. That'd be, yeah, you'd have to live a real long time for that. But like, I want to see my grandkids' kids. So that'd be awesome, to be around that long. So we'll see. Maybe I can live to 150 with technology, the way medicine is evolving with peptides and bioregulators and just keeping my health in check. Like, dude, you can live to be a very long time, even if you have stuff in your life that you've done in the past, like me and you have done, Sal, like, with drinking with me, I was drinking and drugs that destroyed my liver, and I was able to reverse it. Yeah, it's great. I'm able to like reset, if you will. Which is, man, we can do that with anything in life. Even if you end up losing impulse chain, pushing sell button and leaving, you can reset yourself and go build somewhere else and make your wealth. Like, it's not over for you. But if you sit around here and play misery loves company game, it will be fucking over for you. You're just doing what the fucking devil wants you to do. Don't do it. Stick around and be positive. Looking good. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Pulse chain gains is bottom funding in. I think so, man. I think the Prove X sacrifice did it. I think that set the bottom in. I could be totally wrong about this, but I think that put the bottom in, and most of the volatility is done now. Well, can something else happen to put another bottom in? Sure. This is fucking crypto. But I really believe that was I could be wrong about this, and I've been wrong many times, but I really feel like the Prove X sacrifice is what set the bottom. So if you're selling now, remember, you're probably selling the bottom, which is fine if you're going to move on. If you're going to move on and build something else in your life, invest in something else, there's nothing wrong with that. There never is. I always advocate people selling. I also advocate people buying, holding, everything. It's your money, it's your right, right? What I don't advocate is you being a little bitch after you sell. Don't be a little bitch. Move on with your life. Build something else. Learn your lessons. Or stand, hold, and buy, and be positive, right? It's the two options, man. There's no in between. So, guys, on that note, I got to hop off. I am 3 minutes late for my meeting, but I want to definitely just connect with you guys. I love every single one of you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. It's Thanksgiving time. Count your blessings. Figure out what you're grateful for. And remember, you're probably 90 to 95% better than most. So keep that in mind. And I will connect with you guys probably later this week. Once again, go out there and create value to the world, so you can make money. Value turns into money. And then you can come in and put it in crypto and 100x your life. So see you guys. Peace.